You're listening to the Time to Level Up podcast. I'm your host, business life coach Andrea Liebross. I help women in business commit to their own growth personally and professionally. Each week, I'll bring you strategies to help you think clearly, gain confidence, make your time productive, turn every obstacle into an opportunity, and finally overcome the overwhelm so that you can make money and manage life. Let's create a plan so you have a profitable business, successful career, and best of all, live with unapologetic ambition. Are you ready to drop the drama and figure out the how in order to reach your goals? You're in the right place. It's time to level up. Let's do this. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm excited for today's episode as always, but this episode contains some big news, changes in my business, and I want to share them with you, not because I want to share what's in it for me, so to speak, but I want to share what's in it for you, because I am always thinking about exactly what does my client need? What do they need? What do they need? And I think part of being a good business owner is pausing and taking the time to reevaluate that periodically, which is what I did at the end of October with my own coach. I reevaluated my offers, what I offer to my clients, and decided it was time to make a few changes so that I could better serve them. So I want you, the podcast listeners, to be one of the first to know about what is happening and why I made the changes, the thinking that went into these changes, and how you can benefit. And I want you to think about, as you're listening to this episode, if there are any questions that are not being answered here, if I am not addressing your questions here, then as always, I want you to reach out and I want you to email me. There's a link to my email in the show notes. I want you to direct message me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Figure out a way to connect and we can chat about your questions. If you don't have any questions and you can see yourself needing what I'm about to describe, if you think you are a perfect client, so to speak, for I've Got This, oops, that was a spoiler alert. That's the new name of the new offering. Then go right ahead and set up a consult call with me. You can find out all the details on how to do that at I'veGotThisCoaching.com. All right, so let's cut to the chase. Committed to Growth, which is my 6-month coaching program, is morphing into I've Got This. And it will serve women entrepreneurs and business owners, women who are in control of how much money they make, either because they own their business or they are paid on commission. And I've decided to really narrow my niche to entrepreneurs and business owners because that is who lights me up the most. That is who I think over in the long run, who I serve the best. Now, this does not mean that I can't serve you if you are not a business owner or entrepreneur. I can totally serve you. And everything I talk about applies to life in general. But inside this program, I wanted to give it a little bit more of a business bent. And I wanted to serve the person who maybe is not at the place where they feel like they are killing it and have huge success and have chaos created by success. This chaos that they might be feeling is probably still as a result of confusion. So this is the chaos created by confusion type of person that I mentioned a few episodes ago. If you haven't listened to that episode, go take a peek. I think it's number 106 that was released just 2 weeks ago. All right. Now, why did I change from committed to growth to I've Got This? I mean, Andrea, don't we need to be committed to growth? Yes. But I decided that I've Got This is a much more inspiring name, and it really captures the vibe that we create inside this particular coaching container. My women in there, they want to feel and believe and do or have or are getting it. I've Got This is, I think, aspirational because that's who we want to become. Now, being committed to your growth in the process is really important, but it doesn't really tell the story of where you want to go if you are committed to growth. It talks more to the process you need to adopt in order to get where you want to go. And I'm a big proponent of talking about what you are working toward, not what you're moving away from. What are you working toward? And what you're working toward is becoming, and I've got this kind of woman, right? You want to be, and I've got this kind of entrepreneur, female entrepreneur, business owner who has other responsibilities outside of her work, but is someone who wants to have her act together in all aspects or facets of life. But at this stage of the game, maybe in this season of life, I don't really love that phrase, but in this season of life, this woman, this I've Got This kind of woman is probably feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe even confused on next steps. And these steps could be what to do today, what to do next week, the steps you need to take this year. Basically, the woman I am coaching in, or will be coaching inside Committed to Growth, she's living in a place of uncertainty. And oftentimes she is on the side of the river of misery where she does not feel like her success is inevitable. It actually feels like it might fall apart any minute because she probably feels like she's two bad decisions away from the whole thing falling apart. Although right now it is not falling apart. It might be being held together by duct tape, but it's not falling apart yet. And she is craving a clear, concise path and the confidence to follow the path in order to not have the business and her life duct taped together. She wants it nailed in. She wants a guide. She wants other women to talk to. She wants a board of directors because doing this construction project on her own, doing this whole entrepreneur gig on her own, it can be lonely. And while she does have people, and I'm going to put this in air quotes, supporting her, pretty much every woman will tell me that her family is supporting her. It still isn't the support she needs to feel solid with what she's doing and to feel in control of her life. So let's jump in, and I'm going to give you some examples of who I work with. I know I don't work with in I've Got This. And again, if you want to check out the details of I've Got This, you can go to I'veGotThisCoaching.com. There's no apostrophe. I took it out. We don't need it. So who do I work with? Simply put, I work with women-owned businesses, women who are in charge of creating their own income. They might be on commission, but they are kind of in charge of their own destiny. These women can be brick and mortar businesses. They can be online. They can be service-based. They can be product-based. It doesn't matter. But they are at a stage in their business where they are tired of being a one-woman show. They might be ready to make their first hire. They might have a contractor, but they know they need more help. And they also know they need a few systems. But they are not yet to the stage where they have a full-fledged team or employees or a bunch of contractors. But yet they're not, on the flip side, they're not brand new business owners, although they sometimes feel like they are. They didn't just start yesterday. They're not at a place either where they've barely gotten off the ground, or they're not in a place yet where they have made oodles and oodles of money. They're not a well-oiled machine, but nor are they just fresh out of the gate. What they are women who have a passion for something, a desire to serve others in some way, to provide a product or a service to their clients or customers. And that is the whole reason they started this business. So I have clients who serve their clients through educating, through construction or real estate, or they work with a counselor, or they are a counselor, or they're coaches, or they're medical professionals, or they're lawyers, or interior designers, or accountants, or financial planners, or florists. I have a woman who even designs landscapes and pools. All of these people, I serve all of them because they all love what they do. But right now, they might not be loving how they're doing it. So again, if you are a business owner with more than 100 employees, this probably isn't for you. Or if you're a business owner who is adamant on being a one-man show and will not even consider having an assistant, then this coaching is probably not for you either. But I want you to hear that it is for the woman who's got a business, who's kind of tired of being the one-man show, who's passionate about what she does, but how she's doing it right now may not feel so great. And she knows that something needs to change because she doesn't want to keep this business together and her life together with duct tape. Okay? I think the best indicator of whether or not you are, and I've got this kind of woman, is that if you feel like you're DIYing it a little too much, this is probably perfect for you. If I asked you the question, what's getting in your way of creating the business and life you want, and you tell me, I'm getting in my way, this is probably perfect for you because you're probably operating from a place of scarcity. You probably have the thinking that when XYZ happens, then everything's going to be okay. Or when I reach this goal, then I'll invest. You've experienced some success, my friend, but it's probably not consistent. And it's not consistent enough so that you're not constantly feeling like you have to hustle to find the next sale or the next client. It is not sustainable success because, again, everything is sort of duct taped together. You haven't really adopted, I've got this kind of thinking, although you crave it. And you often are in the stuck stress mode, not the productive or progressive stress mode. Go check out that podcast episode. It's a good one. But you want to get to that next level of growth in your business and as a business owner, and you want to eliminate that hustle so that you can enjoy life and enjoy your business. And you know that in order to do that, you probably have to be in a different place in terms of systems and team members, and your mindset needs to change in order to do all this. So each month, what are we going to do inside Committed to Growth? Each month, we're going to focus on implementing a new tool that helps things become more systematic for you. We're going to practice some new thinking that will serve you and your business that is useful. We are going to focus in on mindset and systems, and probably adding a new team member who is an expert in what you're not an expert in, or who wants to spend their time in a way that you don't want to spend your time in. And I, through a lot of thinking, have identified 12 areas that I think every entrepreneur needs to examine in order to become an I've got this kind of woman. 12 tools, 12 new ways of thinking that they need in order to become an I've got this kind of woman. And I'm going to share with you a sampling of some of the topics. So here we go with that. Number 1, you need to design your day in a way that aligns with your dreams. You need to focus in on lifestyle design. What do you want? Are you communicating what you want? How do you get what you want? That's number 1. Number 2, you need to be consistently fully focused. So we are going to spend a month talking about this, figuring out what your priorities are, planning so that you continue to make your priorities, and scheduling in time to make it happen. Priorities, planning, scheduling, stacking your wins so you're consistently fully focused. Number 3, you need to create confidence. which means quieting all of the head trash and chatter in your head, which means seeking some emotional courage and understanding what the motivational triad really is. Number 4, you need to grant yourself some permission. Permission to do B- work, permission to change anything at any time, permission to not care what other people think. We're going to talk a whole month about granting yourself permission. And inside that month, we're going to talk about the Eisenhower matrix and how that can be such a helpful tool in granting yourself permission. Then we will transition to organizing your brain space and physical space. You need to organize your internal thinking in order to have some external organization. Organize inside and outside. What thoughts do you want to keep, get rid of, or change? What items are taking up space? What items do you want to keep, get rid of, or change? I'm going to teach you the 3 questions that create space for both thoughts and things that help you organize your brain and your house. Then we will move the next month into talking about owning your time, recapturing your time, being picky and choosy with what you say yes to, ripping off your busy badge, not being afraid of being uncomfortable. And I'm going to teach you the tool that I call strengthening your follow-through muscle. Then we're going to move into systems. Systems. Every business needs 7 specific systems, including a scheduling system, a payment system, an onboarding system, a sharing deliverables system, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to teach you about those systems. And we're also going to talk about what it means to create a high value cycle in your business. Then we're going to move to knowing your worth in dollars and cents. What do you charge? What are your fees? What's your value as a business owner and expert? What's your value as a human? What 3 beliefs comprise your worth? I'm going to teach you how to use that tool. Then the next month, we're going to move to making and moving more money. I'm going to introduce you to my favorite tool for understanding cash flow, and it is not QuickBooks, although I think everybody needs QuickBooks. Understanding and forecasting, on knowing where your money is going to go in the future, and knowing that information, how it will help you make decisions so you won't have this doubt about how to spend money. You're going to learn the tool, the 4 rules of budgeting. Then in October, or not October, but probably in October, but in the next month, we're going to figure out how to stack your support team. And this means your support team at home and in your business. We might be making your first hire. We're going to figure out how to use your core values as a guidepost, and we're going to learn how to delegate. Then we're going to explore how to use your past and how to use your future. And we're going to explore how to create what you want by being future focused, not past focused. You're going to become an expert at intentional thought creation, not destruction. And then, last but not least, you're going to become an expert at writing smarter, with an ER, goals, and how to use those goals to help clarify what you should be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. How to create your best year ever, and you will become an expert at using my Thought Bridge tool. So that's just kind of a preview. Some of that might change, but that's a preview of some of the things that I know. I am confident that women who want to be I've got this kind of women need to master. Now, if this is not for you because you think you're beyond this and you are at a place where you want to create more freedom in your business, you already have a team or somewhat of a team, you have some systems, you might be a better candidate for the Runway to Freedom Mastermind. There is a whole podcast on what that looks like. So go back and listen to that one. I will link it in the show notes. But the good news is that you honestly don't have to decide what coaching container you should be in before we get on our Zoom consult and strategy call. Because together we're going to figure out where you are. Now, you might have an idea before you get on the call, but we'll figure it out. And here's the honest to goodness truth. These two coaching containers, I've Got This and Runway to Freedom, the women inside these coaching containers, they're really the same person, but they're just at different stages in their life, in their business, and their thinking. Okay? But if you know that you are in your business and wanting to work on it for the next year for real, then working with me is for you in some way. Both I've Got This and Runway to Freedom are 12-month commitments. And that is not to say that you can't upgrade during that time period if your business gets to a place where you think you need something more. I'm always open to that. But I'm not open to women who just want to dabble in coaching, who want to try it out. But I want to work with women who are already thinking, this is for me. I want women who are willing to trust themselves or become better at trusting themselves and understand that growing themselves in a business is a process, and who believe that they will find exactly what they need. They trust themselves. They'll find exactly what they need inside these coaching containers. I believe women are constantly evolving. And some business owners don't like that feeling of constantly evolving, and they don't really make it. They dissolve. But my coaching is really for business owners who are in it to win it or learn. Remember, there's no failing. It's either winning or learning. And who want to get the results they want from their business and life. So that's not going to happen in a month or even 6 months, I've learned. That's why I've created both of these programs as 12-month commitments. That's a little shift for me. But what I realized is that the women I was working with for 6 months, just 6 months and no more, they were not getting nearly the results as the women I was working with for 12 months. Okay? Now, I promise that you will start to feel an impact in just 1 month. I promise in 1 week, you'll start to feel an impact. But the real impact only comes after a longer time period. Now, you may have listened to my previous podcast on what you're worth, and you may have heard me use the analogy of opening a door of transformation. I am opening this door wider when I invite you in for a year versus 6 months. I am inviting you in for more evolution, for more growth, for more success, and definitely more fun. I'm a coach who is in it for the long haul, and I will be with you when it gets rough, and I'll also be there to celebrate alongside you. Make sure to check out some of my Wednesday Wins social posts. Those are celebrations. And here is what my clients really want. Do you want these things? Here are their desires. They want more growth. They're not satisfied with where they are in their business. They're ready for growth mode. They want to build a business on purpose, which means setting up systems and creating a roadmap and executing on it. My clients inside I've Got This, they want more freedom. And at this stage, really that freedom means a little more work-life balance, a little less stress and guilt, which means earning more without the hustle energy. These women want to become cool and collected about all aspects of life. Here's the third thing that they really desire. They want more accountability. So if you're ready to get to that next level by being around other women who aren't afraid to talk money or the morning madness in their house, who are focused personally and professionally, and who are looking for accountability and support to make things happen, not just now, but forever, then this is for you. This is a program, a coaching container for you. I've Got This is for you. So let's talk about the process of joining me and these women inside of Got This. It's very similar to the Runway to Freedom process. So, you're all excited and you decide this is the time, and you might binge a few podcast episodes, and then you go to my webpage, I've got this coaching.com, probably at least once. You can find that link in the show notes. You can find it in every show notes. Okay. And you land on my information sales page. You're going to find everything we're talking about today written out. And you'll also find some testimonials of women I've worked with in the past. Make sure you check out the client results tab too, because there's even more there. You're going to find the details of the program, the topics we're going to cover. You won't find the price, because that price or that investment varies. It varies on when you enroll, and it varies depending on whether or not you decide to add on some additional one-on-one sessions with me. But let's just say that the monthly investment is one that I consider extremely reasonable given the evolution that will take place and the stage you are in your business. So if you're thinking that you cannot afford coaching, regardless of the price, even this one, then this is definitely not for you, because you're not at a place where you see coaching as a tool to create more money and more growth. So as you scroll through that I've got this coaching.com page, you'll see several buttons that say book a call or schedule a call. And that's what you need to do in order to enroll. So just click it. Find a time that works for you. Go ahead, schedule a call. It costs you nothing. If anything, what you're going to get from that call is some complimentary, incredible insight. That call, which should last about 30 minutes, but I have you block off 45 just in case. On that call, we're going to make sure you're a good fit. But if you've done your homework and read the webpage and listened to this podcast, then you probably and hopefully have most of your questions answered. If not, tell me. I want to make this easy. What you can expect when we get on that call is, number one, I want you to ask me anything you want to ask me. Number two, I'm going to ask you a few questions to get to know you more, what your business looks like now, what you want it to look like, and most importantly, what you want it to feel like. I might ask you about what systems, if any, you have in place, or systems you wish you had in place, who your clients are, customers, what your product is, so I get an idea of who you really are and what matters to you. That's going to help me decide if this is a good fit for you, or you might be a better fit for one of my other programs. But I will share additional information with you about I've Got This, or whatever we decide might be best. And we're going to determine together if you're a good fit. Even though I might think you're a good fit, you might not think you're a good fit. You might be a better fit for one of my other programs or someone else's program. And I always aim to push you in the right direction so that you get whatever it is you do need. We'll determine on that call whether or not you want to add on some one-on-one time each month. But here, listen, most of the time when people show up for that call, they've already listened to a few podcasts, hopefully this one. They've already read the webpage and a few client success stories. But this is also when we make sure our expectations are aligned. And at the end of the call, we make the decision if I've Got This is a good fit for you, if I'm a good fit for you. Part of what I do as a coach is to help my clients make decisions. So this really is the first opportunity that I have to help you make a decision. We're going to decide whether we're going to move forward on that call. And if it's a go, I will send you an agreement. Everyone gets the same agreement. There might be a few tweaks because of whether or not we decide to add some things on. But I will lay out what is included, and everything I said will be on there too. And you're going to sign the proposal, and you'll get a copy of it. And once you sign that proposal agreement, it will take you to a PayPal link where you enter on your own your credit card info. I only take credit cards. And that same credit card info you enter right then and there, you'll be charged right then and there for the first month of us working together. And then PayPal will automatically charge you for the next 11 months on that same day of the month that you charge for the first time. And once that investment amount is set, you're locked in regardless of whether or not I raise prices during the year. Now, the agreement and proposal is only valid and live for about 48 hours. So you have 48 hours after our call to decide if this is the right thing for you. If there's anyone you need to talk this over with, I always advise you start talking about it before you even get on the call. And let me tell you, anyone who has taken the time to complete the proposal, read the webpage, listened to a few podcasts, had a Zoom call with me. You guys should know within 48 hours if this is a go. Any more time than that, it's actually a no. Your brain is great at coming up with reasons why not to do things. And after 48 hours, it is in full on not to do this mode. And that's okay. I'll still love you. But with my coaching experience, I've found that my best clients are the ones that have done their homework and can make decisions rather quickly. So once the proposal's signed, the PayPal information goes through PayPal. You're going to get a series of onboarding emails sent from my online business manager, Linda. And in one of those onboarding emails, you'll receive a video featuring her, the famous Linda, that will help you work through anything technical, logistical. Okay? But listen, once we start working together, once that happens, here is what you can expect. And if you're even questioning if this is what you need, I want you to think about whether or not you're one of these 4 people. Are you someone who has tried to DIY it and it's not working for you? And you want a leader, you want to stay accountable. This is definitely for you. If you are someone who is fighting doubt every day, saying, am I doing this the right way? What is the right way? What am I missing? I want to know the right way or all the ways so that I can focus on the right things, not all the things, then I've got this is definitely for you. If you are someone that questions whether or not you are worthy of taking people's money and how much, and who wants to stop the drama and the pain over this worthiness as a business owner and woman, and who wants to get comfortable asking for what you want, then this, I've got this, is definitely for you. If you are a woman who is always wondering what to do and never stop to pause or plan, you are kind of a fly by the seat of your pants person, and you've probably convinced yourself that you do well under pressure. But when you look back, you sometimes don't honor your calendar and want to design your days so that they feel better, then this I've got this coaching is definitely for you. I guess here's a 5th one. If you are someone who is in a state of confusion, which leads to feeling chaotic, a feeling of overwhelm and guilt, and want to overcome the overwhelm to make room for freedom and feeling great, then this is definitely for you too. And as we work together, you'll become a woman who has money, who has attracted the perfect clients, nailed your request for help because you've asked in the right way, someone who's raised their rates. Okay, that's who you're going to become. You're going to become someone who's confident, who's called for the right reasons, who does things even though they're hard, who makes decisions, who is a thought leader, and who shows up unapologetically ambitious. That's who you're going to become. You're going to become a woman who is clear on where to spend her time, who has planned their day, who has a balanced work and home life, who follows through, who said no and yes. That's who you're going to become. You're also going to become a woman who looks for opportunity, who doesn't think of obstacles as challenges anymore, but as opportunities, who finds some hidden profits. That's who you're going to become. You're also going to become a woman who might take a nap in the middle of the week, who sleeps soundly, sound 8 hours, who takes days off without guilt. That's who you're going to become. And you're also going to become a woman who has and experiences joy, who spends time with their friends at the lake, who has meaningful conversations at dinner. That's who you're going to become. My goal is to help you create a business and a life you love that aligns with who you want to be, and a business that does what you wanted to do for you and others. A business and a life that feels great, exciting, freeing, amazing, not heavy and burdensome. Okay? If you're a woman who wants the following, then this is for you too. Here are the things that are included inside Committed to Growth. Included are those 12 topics, you becoming an expert, mastering those 12 topics I mentioned before. You also will receive coaching 3 times a month via Zoom. We do 3 weekly 60-minute Zoom calls 3 times a month. You're going to get that. You're going to get continuous coaching from me via a private online channel. You're going to get access to my $1 million Rolodex and resources. You're also going to be part of a private online community of other women business owners so you can connect, so it won't feel so lonely. Who you can ask questions to, who can be your sounding board, your own board of directors, who can also help you network. They might be the people who actually are your exact perfect clients. So you're going to get coaching, you're going to get community, and you're also going to get a course library, which is a vault of additional resources. So if you're someone who likes to do things in the middle of the night, you can always do that, but you don't have to. So that is what is included: coaching, community, optional coursework. But I think the most important things that are included are clarity, confidence, mind management so that you can manage your time, and a new perspective on how to turn obstacles into opportunities. So, my friends, I record everything. You can't use "I won't be there on the call" as an excuse to not do this. Okay? You can't use "I need to be all in. I'm not all in right now" as an excuse, because you're never going to be all in. Like I mentioned, or I'm going to mention, I haven't recorded that podcast, but it's coming out. I'm going to talk about that. Okay? There's so many excuses that your brain can come up with to keep you safe. None of them, none of those excuses are good enough to delay your own progress, to delay becoming an "I've got this" kind of woman. So you need to, again, go over to I'veGotThisCoaching.com. Schedule a call with me. We can figure out if this is for you. If it's not, we'll figure out what the best thing is. And I'll be honest, many of my clients work with me for years. I have a client who's been with me since day one. We're still working together. Sometimes people work with me for a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. I want to be your partner in your growth. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to make this work fun. So if this sounds incredible, if this sounds like, I need this, I want to become an "I've got this" kind of woman, then head over to I'veGotThisCoaching.com, schedule your call. Doors are open for the entire month of January. Usually the doors are only open at the end of the month. People need to apply by the last Thursday of the month to join us the following month. But this January, my doors are open the entire month and you can start immediately. Let's do this. This is the time for you. 2023 is your time to level up, and I can't wait to help you get there. See you soon. Thanks for listening to the Time to Level Up podcast with me, your host, Andrea Liebross. If you know someone who could benefit from listening to this episode, I encourage you to take a screenshot and share it with them. Okay, now what about you? You've listened to the podcast, and if you now know that you're ready to upgrade your life, upgrade your business, upgrade you, then stop being only a listener and start being a liver, living that upgraded life. Head over to my website and schedule a call. Right there on that call, we'll start changing the way you think and act so that you can have the freedom to achieve the impossible in life and business and have the resources to do it. You deserve an upgrade. Let's do it.